And Republicans are nearing full control of Congress. They're preparing to make ambitious strides toward Donald Trump's agenda. But Democrats have other plans, reportedly plotting an 11th-hour sabotage of his policies. Axios reports that Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is alerting allies of a resistance to the next administration. Joining me now is Republican Congresswoman from Michigan, Lisa McClain. Great to have you here. Basically, let me quote from this piece that House Democrats are strategizing this way to put this damper on Trump's administration's sweeping plans while their party still retains some control in Washington. I think people might want to know, what could they possibly do in the next 6 weeks?
I have no idea, but they're going to try and do something. However, I think if you take a look at Election Day, the American people sent a mandate to Washington. They want a Washington that works and that works for the American people. So I think the best thing we all could do is get back to business, close the border, get inflation down. Let's take a look at moving forward and making America great again. So that's what I'm sure President Trump is ready, willing, and able to do. And the House and the Senate stand by to do the same.
I know that there are a couple of big things that are happening, including the farm bill that has to get done before January 2nd. Do you see that going smoothly?
I do. I mean, smoothly is a very interesting word. Democracy is messy, and we have a very diverse coalition of Americans, of voters, of people in Congress. But I think that's good because everybody gets their voices heard, and disagreement isn't disloyalty. At the end of the day, after we listen to everyone, we will get a very resilient, prosperous farm bill that the American people will like and will be very beneficial to them as well.
I had to read this twice, and I'm going to play it for everybody because Congresswoman Jayapal, now in the House, just to remind everybody, you don't have the filibuster. But the Democrats were talking about changing the filibuster and encouraging Kamala Harris to run on changing the filibuster to get things done. Well, now the Republicans are in charge of the Senate and probably going to be the House as well. We haven't called that yet, but it looks likely. And here's what Jayapal said yesterday.
Am I championing getting rid of the filibuster now when the Senate has the trifecta? No. But had we had the trifecta, I would have been, because we have to show that government can deliver.
Isn't that the kind of unprincipled take that the voters were reacting against last Tuesday?
Yeah, that is the exact mandate that the American people said, we just play by the rules of the game, right? If you can't win, maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe it's your policies that are the problem. And at the end of the day, Dana, we were elected to represent the American people. We have an obligation to do that, not change the rules of the game whenever it's convenient for us. So perhaps it's your policies that you should take a look at. That's why President Trump won an overwhelming victory, because he has good policies and he actually puts the American people first.
One of the things that you're going to do is try to replace Elise Stefanik. Elise is the Congresswoman from upstate New York. She is being tapped to be UN ambassador. And in fact, Moskowitz, a Democrat from Florida, said she'll do a good job in that position. I want to show everybody on the board here. You'll be running against a couple of other folks here that have thrown their hat in the ring already. Kat Kamek of Florida and Blake Moore of Utah. What would you do different to what Elise Stefanik has been doing over the last couple of years?
Well, first, I think Elise has done a remarkable job, so I would follow a lot of her lead. I have been with President Trump since day one, even when it wasn't popular, much like Elise has been. And the issue is we have to bring the coalition of very unique voters together. We have a very big, diverse caucus. We have a very big and diverse America. But what I think the advantage we have is we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump that will set the agenda and set the tone, and it will be my job as conference chair to get the conference together, make sure that we're singing from the same hymnal, so to speak, to move his agenda forward and be able to articulate in a very simple manner how to make America great again, get inflation down, close the border, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm excited to get to work with my colleagues to do just that.
All right, Lisa McClain, go have a great day. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.